What's going on, guys? It's Austin from the 2nd Militia. Today I'm reviewing three things. Go ahead and give you a rundown of them. The CRKT Mini Bowie, the FD Grayman Series Kydex holster for the CZ p07, Kershaw leek, and the Kershaw leek is very special to me, and you'll see why as we progress through the video. And I'm going to try to keep this video as short and to the point as possible, but sometimes just with the information and, some things that we throw in, they may take a little longer than expected, so just bear with us. You can skip through to the part that, you would like. Alright, so on the CRKT Mini Bowie, it comes equipped with a shoestring and a lace lock to run as a neck knife in a Kydex sheath. I like the idea of a neck knife, but me personally, I will not carry a neck knife because I actually wear, actual necklaces, and me tugging on that, I don't like it. But it does come with a plastic / Kydex belt loop, and you can angle it to where it's like this on your belt, it's like that on your belt, upside down on your belt, or you can run the lace lock with the laces, with your actual boot laces, and run it as a boot knife. It does have these 3 finger grooves, and they're so deep because I got pretty big hands, and it runs so deep that if you actually had to, and you get a good enough purchase, but yet it's so small. Just with them grooves, it's almost like, gripping a pair of brass knuckles. When you grab them, slide your fingers through, it's just so, it's really comfortable. You get a firm purchase on it, and it's not going nowhere. So, I carry it right here, simply because this is not a box cutting knife. This is not my utility knife. This is a self-defense knife, an Edc knife. So, if I ever get in a real bad altercation and I'm on my side and I can't get to my firearm, I got it to where I can draw like this and use my left hand to mush or, gouge eyes or, whatever the situation may be. So, and then I also have it to where I can grab it left-handed and underhook it. But, the chances of me actually needing this are slim to none. But you know how the saying goes, I'd rather have it not needed than need it not have it. So that's that. That's the little Kydex holster that it comes in. It fits on the belt perfectly. No printing. You'd never be able to tell it was there. And then if you got to go to work with it. And I love this little thing. I'm actually going to go pick up, me and my wife were talking, I'm going to go pick up 2 or 3 more. Now they make different kinds. They got one that has, I don't know the name of the blade, so excuse me, but they have one that the blade is curved a little, and that's more for the self-defense, slashing, or whatever. And then the other one is just like this, and it has serrations, and then they have one that the blade angle is a little different. But I like this one, and I would like to get the one with the serrations, but I want to get a few of these, simply just in case the Kydex sheath wears out. I have a backup sheath, or if, for some odd reason, it locks in very tightly, but over the test of time, I'm sure that this will, eventually work itself loose, and, you might lose your knife or whatever. So I'd like to have them while they're available. Right now, they're only $20 at Bass Pro. Now, the second one is going to be the FD Grayman Series holster. And as you can see, I carry 3 o'clock. I'm not a slim guy. I'm not a fat guy, but I'm not a slim guy either. And this, it's a very, very, very nice Kydex holster. And I don't say that about a lot of Kydex holsters because I'm not a big fan of Kydex holsters. I'm more of a leather guy myself. But considering it's so freaking hard to find a good a good leather holster for the CZ p07, this was one of my few options. And when I say few, I mean very few. Alright. The reason why I say this is such a high quality Kydex holster is because, I mean, let's be realistic. You got guys that get on here and talk about, oh, well, that's not it's very inexpensive. And $40 is inexpensive to them. Compared to the amount of money that I have spent on holsters, because there are leather holsters that I've spent well over $120 for, shoulder holsters that I've spent over $200 for, $40 for this holster was a steal. And as you know, if you go back on the channel, you'll see the very first video where I explain the premise of the second militia. You know, there's a caveat in there that I'm not always going to check and clear the weapon on camera because they've already been done so before recording. So there's no need for me to sit there and rack it 5 times so you can feel better about your gun safety skills. Mine are on par. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, not trying to sound like an asshole. But the issue I was running into, this gun is a double negative. I love this gun. This gun is a sweet shooting gun. It's a very reliable gun. It's a hammer-fired gun. It's got a decocker. Mine is the 17+1 capacity, 18 rounds. Sometimes I carry the CZ p07 spare mag with me. So when I reload, I got 19+1. So that's 20 rounds in a CZ p07. But I only carry spare mag just in case I have some kind of malfunction, which I've yet to have with this gun, but you never know, and guns mess up at the worst times possible. So I'd rather have it and be able to, you know, drop the mag, throw another mag in, rack, you know, try to work the slide out of whatever malfunction I've had, and get back in the fight and get home to my family. Alright, so the double negative about this gun is, like I said, it's a p07 with a threaded barrel and suppressor height sights. Some of you would be like, well, man, what are you talking about? I wish I had a gun with a threaded barrel and suppressor height sights. Yeah, I did too. I was one of those guys that had never had one of these and was like, oh man, I gotta get, you know, something with a threaded barrel because of the possibilities of running a suppressor, and it's already got suppressor height night sights, so whatever. I'm not, how'd you say it? I'm not regretting my purchase of this firearm. This firearm is amazing. This firearm is accurate. This firearm, the ergonomics, there's plenty of real estate there to grab. Now the other firearm that I alternate between that one is when it's cold and I can get away with it. I mean, I can get away with this on a summer day and you never know I had it. And that is the CZ p09. Now that is a 19+1 capacity, and it is a beautiful, beautiful firearm. I mean, I love it. It is an amazing firearm. I mean, it's just, I love this gun. But this is the gun that is carried whenever I feel like carrying it. This is my Edc, and I try not to stray away from this too much, but the guns are so similar that whenever I carry, you know, any, you know, function such as the decocker, the trigger, the reference point for your index finger, the mag release, those are all going to be in the same spot on the p09. So I'm not really trading anything up. But the double negative, I've already went over that with you, with the threaded barrel and suppressor height sights. So I ordered a holster from Alien Gear, and I put in there what kind of gun I had, you know, suppressor ready model. And I called them. I said, hey, I just wanted to call and verify. And this is like 4 days in. I didn't even think to call them before or contact them before. I said, hey, you know, I just wanted to make sure that it will fit with the suppressor height sights, because it said it would, you know, take the gun with a threaded barrel. She said, no, I'm sorry to inform you that the suppressor height sights won't work on it. You're going to have to either send it back and we'll have to figure out a way, or cancel your order and we can refund the money, or we can try to figure out a holster solution, blase, blase. So I said, no, you know what, just go ahead and send it. I'm going to take the suppressor height sights off and put regular night sights on it, just because I don't have a suppressor right now. I was going to keep the suppressor height sights, so whenever I did invest in one and filed my Form 1 and went through all the necessary process, or the necessary steps to get a suppressor, I would have them. But now that I was able to get this holster, I'm just going to keep them on, because I feel like I have an advantage with these. And people say, well, what could the advantage be other than your sight picture? The advantage to having a suppressor height sights is this front sight you can rack on just about anything. And I mean, you can rack it on just about anything. Your belt, shoe, anything that's got a solid surface. I mean, you can rack this on just about anything. So I'm gonna keep them on there. The holster has great retention. I mean, great retention. And it has loops. I love the belt loops. I hate fucking clips, them plastic clips, the metal clips. I hate clips because they wear out so easily. I've bought leather holsters that I've spent almost $100 on that come with a metal clip, and the metal clip will work for all of like 3 or 4 months, and then it'll get stretched out, and I hate clips. So anytime I get a holster now, it's got the leather loops on it. I love it. And these came with the leather loops. It supports the suppressor height sight, and I mean it's amazing. So I did, however, call back to Alien Gear, and I said, hey, listen, on that on that holster, etc., etc., it will fit my CZ P09. And it's just a basic duty model. I mean, it has night sights, but nothing crazy, no suppressor height sights, no threaded barrel. She said yes, it will fit. So I'm just gonna keep that holster for the P09, for whenever I do carry it. So that's gonna be the go-to game plan. Now, with this holster, like I said, I get very good retention. I bought a Bianchi, however you pronounce it, gun leather gun belt, and actually I paid $30 for this at my local gun shop because it was on the 50% off rack, and I am very, very impressed with it. I mean, this thing is thick, and it holds everything I need it to hold in place. And I've watched EDC videos where guys are like, if you have a good gun belt, you don't feel the weight of, these big guns. And I have to say, for the most part, they're right. If you have a good gun belt, you're not going to feel the weight nearly as much as you would if you were just running a regular belt. Before this belt, I was running a Harley Davidson, just a Harley Davidson leather belt. And that belt was so thick that it actually worked really well. But, alright, so, like I said, that's the setup. Or, I might have to come in left hand with the underhand hook. Now, and then, you just put it on, no printing. Wait. And you're good to go, or you can. So, I mean, this knife, this mini bowie is really fast on the deployment. This Codex holster, I mean, it's awesome. Now, granted, I've only had this a couple days, so I still got some work to do. I'm pretty quick on the appendix draw. I'm quick on the 3 o'clock draw. I mean, this one, I just got to get used to. That's all. Now, the grand finale. And I will show you the back side of the grand finale. And then the front side. I'll show you why this knife is so special to me. I'm going to cover well, no, never mind. I'm not going to cover it. I'll just see if it'll focus in. Anyways, my wife had it engraved with our initials, and it says "Till Death Do Us Part." Now, this is the Kershaw leek with the serrated edge, which I really like. This knife is insanely sharp. Now, this knife will not be used for everyday purposes. This is my folder for when we go out, days off. This will be the folder that I keep on me. This could even be used for self-defense as well, but highly unlikely. I'm not going to dig around in my pocket when I can just lift and deploy the mini bowie. Which I think, in my opinion, works a little bit quicker than digging and flipping. Or if it's that serious and I have to use a weapon, 9 times out of 10, I will just try to defuse the situation. Or if not, you will be meeting Mr. P07. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about real quick before we end this video, I do gear review on quality gear, and this is gear that works for me, and also firearms. So when I say the CZ p07 is a really good gun to carry for everyday carry, that's for me to carry for every day. I trust my life with this gun. You know why? Because it's reliable. If, I get a round that has a hard primer, instead of, rack, or tap, rack, bang, I got second strike capabilities. If on the first round, or, the first hammer strike, if it don't go off, I'll hit it again, but if not, I'm wasting too much time. I gotta tap, rack, and then get it back into the fight. That's another reason why I like to carry spare mag, is because if I have to do that, and, after I tap, rack it, and don't get back in the fight, I'm just going to drop that mag, reload, rack it again, and try to get it back into the fight as quickly as possible. But back to what I was saying. I review things that work for me, and what works for me may not work for you, and I've said this in multiple videos, and what works for you may not work for me, but I'm trying to give you options for the new concealed carriers, because it is your right to carry a firearm. It is your responsibility, and please don't come into concealed carrying thinking you know everything because you watched a bunch of YouTube videos, like people like the Yankee Marshal, Iraqi veteran, 8888, James Yeager, Hickok 45, because as old as I am, I'm not that old. I'm not like as old as none of those guys, but I'm still learning. There's still a lot for me to learn, and if you come in with an open mind, you will be one of the best concealed carriers you can be. So just keep that going, and just know that the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, and that's your responsibility. And I take my responsibility very seriously. There's a few things I love in this world. That's God, my guns, and my wife. And as you can see, I got Jesus, I got the cross, and my right. So, you guys have a good one. If you have any questions, comment down below. Subscribe. I plan on growing. I'm trying to put out as much content as possible. So you guys stay tuned for the next video. The next few videos, I'm going to go really in depth with the specifics and the specs of the mini bowie. That's going to be a video in itself. The p09, the p07, the the FD Grayman Series holster, the Kershaw leek, the Bianchi belt, gun belt. So I'll be doing videos specifically on those, and then I will post videos like this, like, hey guys, I'm gonna be reviewing this, this, and this. Here's a quick look at them, and that's how I'm gonna do them. Now, if you didn't catch me tonight, you can go over to my Instagram at the Second Militia. And second is spelled out THE2ND MILITIA. I do live gun reviews, so you can ask me questions live and we can communicate more. So I'm trying to grow, not only as an individual but as a brand and as somebody that, when you have questions about a product, not only a product, or you need some advice, you can come here, watch the video on it, or you can ask me on Instagram Live when I do live gun reviews or product reviews, and I can give you my honest opinion, because I want you guys to know that I will not stand behind something that is not of quality or that I would not trust my life with. And everything that I've showed you today, I trust my life with. P09, CZs in general, I trust my life with. Even some of the old police trade-ins, I would trust my life with one of those. So, like I said, and my life is priceless. Any human life in general is priceless. So, I might spend $400 or $500 on this, but it might save my life. So, it's priceless. But, like I said, guys, it's your responsibility, and it's your right. Take advantage of it before you get taken advantage of.